Good morning, good day. Good morning, dear friends. Good day. This is Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this date, March 4th, 2021, Thursday. Hope you are fine. Hope you are healthy. Hope you are sound mind. And hope you are sleeping. Right? Sometimes. Maybe some of you not sleeping due to some reasons of disturbed sleep, or you may be busy at night to study. Good. Title being this day civil field engineering, designs, construction methods, contracts, AnnexSL, organizations, communications, coordination, quantity, quality, why behind quality. All same titles but with different approach. Your friend and my friend quality, friend quality, and friend should be used or not used, you know that. My target is quality and quantity, not quality alone. That is my fundamental basis. If somebody says my target or my ambition is my objective is only quality, or my ambition only objective is only quantity, that person is not professional. I cannot call that person professional in whatever field one could work. When you say quality, this means quantity as well. So my quality includes quantity, but quality is prioritized, not quantity. That's the important point. Because I've just prioritized quantity, then I ignore quality, and if I prioritize quality, then I ignore quantity, and both are important to complete project. First, a project means projection of what? Projection of materials, projection of objective, projection of quality. If you say no, I give only quality, then it's no project. If I only give quantity, it's no project. It's like warehouse, it's like garbage, that there is no worry about quality, what quality it is. There is no worry about anything. If something is out disposed, out of disposed, and so often you say okay, fine. But point here is everybody understand differently meaning of quality. For someone it's workmanship, which they call quality. For someone it is very beautiful dress and it's quality. For someone it's very good shoes and that's quality. For someone it's very high profile car and it's quality. And for someone it's very high standard family enjoying all facilities in life and they call it quality. And what is quality? That's point to be understood. Means if you are very rich, is it quality? Or you are poor, is it quality? What's quality? Well, I think quality doesn't relate to rich or poor, it relates to standards. Standards, what standards do you have in life? High profile family doesn't mean standard. I don't consider standard because this is your based on money. You have money, you spend way. You are earning maybe different, you maybe have any heritage or what you can say. Means you are a rich person, big man. For you, quality can be anything. Means your talking style may be quality, your smile may be quality, and your whatever you can say, how do you please others may be quality. But for me, this is no quality. This is conduct. Conduct and quality are different. Sometimes your conduct is very attractive, very pleasing, but your mindset is different. Some people used to call me, some people say, oh, you are not diplomatic, mister. Yes, I am not diplomatic. What is diplomatic? I don't understand meaning of diplomatic. Many friends say, oh, I'm diplomatic, I can tackle this person with this person. I tackle. Well, I don't know meaning of diplomacy. When I was young, 25 years or 24 years at that time, somebody also used to call me, see, my boss used to call me, oh, you act diplomatically. You don't know how to act diplomatically. Well, I could not understand meaning of that diplomacy, though I had enough education as that, but that person wanted to say something in this term of diplomacy, which means you do not know how to lie, you do not know how to cheat, you do not know how to make people fool. That is the real term of diplomacy, I think. We call it international diplomacy, we call it personal diplomacy, we call it social diplomacy. Is how can you convince others to listen to you and to accept you, and you do nothing for them, and later on they regret that they had diplomacy with you, and that diplomacy equal to zero. Same thing happens now. You give false promises, don't worry about them. You then change, oh, I did not say that, I mean to say that. So just like people who say, oh, you stated this one, you spoke about this, and you, oh, no, you didn't, you took my meaning differently, you considered differently. I noticed that. Usually you find this type of statements coming from various leaders nowadays, all from all over the world, not only from this country. You'll say, oh, I did not, you twisted my meaning. You twisted what I said. I think this is diplomacy. To during election to give false promises, means oh, I'll give you this one, don't worry, and when you say oh, it was just the symbolic and nothing else, this is diplomacy. Means how to remain in power is diplomacy. How to defeat others is diplomacy. And all diplomacy means keep off truth. Keep off truth. Try to annoy others. Though it should not look you're annoying, it should look you're helping them. You help others, you annoy them, but you should not be doing in a way other feels you are cheating them. This is, I think, real definition of diplomacy. You show in a way I am doing hard work and I am doing too much and walk here and there and shout on mobile. Oh, this and that is this and all that is so. You demonstrate yourself bodily and impressional wise in such a way that you are too busy to occupied person and just it is demonstration and nothing else and your performance is zero. I am working 18 hours a day and this is my result. The result is zero. But I am working 18 hours a day. So if you are working 18 hours a day, where is the result? Where is your achievement, your objective performance? No performance at all. So this is diplomacy. If you can convince others, this is diplomacy. If you can tell me, okay, I'll do this for you, do this for me, and if you get that, if some other person is affected and does for you in that way in future, and that person, oh, I acted with him diplomatically and I got this one from him. Yes, one time it can be, second time it can be, it can't be all time. One person knows that you are a cheat, in that case, that person will not believe you, and your formula of diplomacy goes down. What is diplomacy? Actually, that is cheat quality. One should be frank. Engineering never depends on diplomacy. That is my understanding. If diplomacy and engineering has got no relation, truth in life and diplomacy have got no relation. If you want to do something, you have to do it. That is engineering. If you think something, if you decide something, if an objective, you have to do it, only then it's called engineering. You say, okay, I'll do it, don't worry, I'll take time, don't worry, I'll do it after 1 month, don't worry, I'll do after one. And you never do it, that's not engineering, that is cheat engineering, you can say, it's fake engineering, you can say. You befool others in the name of engineering, and engineering is not engineering, means you have to think and do it. Engineering is something is that. Engineer means you are having a mind which is very brilliant, very intelligent, you use the mind, and use of mind is against diplomacy, I think. If you use mind, you can become scientists, engineers, doctors. You cannot be diplomat, because diplomat means you have to keep off reality. They shake hands and they talk in meetings in perfect way. Plus people are there, but result is zero. There is war everywhere. You want to stop war, but you fail, and even if you agree on war, stop and ceasefire, later on you will find again it happens. You see, that's what's up. So what I'm saying is that I did not understand meaning of diplomacy when I was in 1982. Oh, you are not diplomacy, use diplomacy. He never explained to me what is diplomacy. He went to say, okay, you say, yes, I will do it. Yes, I will do it. Somebody comes to you, here's my salary. Oh, don't worry, I will do it. I'll talk to this, and within a couple of months I will do it. Don't worry, I'll wait. If somebody demands a salary, oh, don't worry, come on, work, we will give it. Don't we are arranging for that, and you do nothing, and 3 months, 4 months, 5 months go. And you will find salaries are not distributed. It happens usually in many countries around the world, particularly in GCs, you will find that. And people don't want to pay, though they have money, they don't pay. I don't know reasons, because they want to invest somewhere else. And that's fine. You can do it. But we are dealing in engineering where product is manufactured or produced. And it cannot be done without doing it. If you say, okay, don't worry, I'll give you a project. I'll give you this substance. Don't worry, I'll deliver this. I will just in talks and lip service, I'll reality deliver. I mean, you have to deliver something, and in practical way, in reality, then you have to make it. So that's what I'm saying. There's a difference in dealing to deliver project and difference in delivering lip service project. You want to do lip service project or the real project. There's a difference in engineering, that diplomacy has no meaning in engineering. The people they are diplomat in higher positions. They are not in front, and they don't have any knowledge about front. And those who have knowledge about front, they are very aggressive people. So you'll not find civil engineers very diplomatic. very politely talking, because they work in all other conditions. They work in 45 temperature as a minus temperature as well. They work in rain and thunderstorm and all wind, high wind, and they work everywhere. They deal with people, all classes of people, means from highest class of officers to lowest class of working person. So they have every class of understanding. Means diplomacy doesn't play there any role. If you have to produce concrete, you have to produce concrete. You have to produce the building, you have to produce building. If you have to stand in roads project, you have to stand in road project and see how it's going on. So there is no meaning of diplomacy. Survey as opposed to our surveying. And surveying always is done in open and all the countries. You cannot, so to whom you will talk diplomatically. And more you keep off from society itself. I know in my experience, well, I maybe 5%, 2%, 3% I was social. Otherwise, I am antisocial. You can say antisocial doesn't means anti. I mean, doesn't mean criminal. I mean to say, if you're not used to involve with society, if you're not used to move with society, you can say that you are not social person. Means they do not have opportunity to meet society. When I stay in deserts, and this is remote areas from city, even though I overseas or hill, you can't see your family in a couple of months or a year. Then how can you say, you'll say, here you may have civil engineering professors usually located off cities, off area of societies. You have to develop your nation, is you have to stay in such remote areas. And those remote areas means there's no society. You have to stay in certain workers' camp, labor camps, or life camps, or maybe you have to rent some remote accommodation to live in. So there is none of your relatives and of your family. So, and you can't say you have to, even you don't have opportunity to attend marriages or parties or something, which non-engineering people or those who are resident in the cities, they can enjoy society. But in engineering, if you are a civil engineer in particular, I'm not talking about mechanical, electrical, other traders, other disciplines. I'm just talking about civil engineers. They can't enjoy society. They can't enjoy formalities. By chance, if they have sometimes, they can't even wear very good, attractive dresses as well as ties, and you can say they can't demonstrate their external personality. Of course, internal personality, nobody can compete with them. That's also true. If people want to talk to them, they want what sort of person is, doesn't know a manner of talking. They will say like they don't realize background when on 18 hours or 12 to 18 hours a day how that person works. There's a difference of that. So real engineering is something high degree sacrificial tendency. If you don't have high degree sacrificial tendency, and actually that is real quality of engineer. Young engineer you are, real engineer you are. Once I met a person high profile in Iraq in 1981, and that person I used to talk to him about me. So why didn't apply for manager position or this position? Said, oh, see, Mr. Sura, I don't want to be manager. I don't want. I want to be real engineer. Well, I could not understand that time what they mean by real engineer. But he said, no, I am happy here. I am engineer. I'm fine. I don't want a high position because engineering. My objective is engineer. I'm practical engineer. Of course, I have qualification of engineering, but I want to remain engineer. I don't want to even manager. I could not understand, but later on I could understand. The person says manager means it keeps off from engineering, but engineer, real engineer, works in engineering. And it's also true that manager, one who's manager, of course, even if it's not qualified engineer, that person cannot become engineer. But if a person is engineer, that person, if likes, can become good manager. That's the difference. So quality of an engineer, or you can say personal level character of an engineer, is that one, it's very difficult to find diplomatic engineers, or you can say polite engineers. You Arabic word you say, oh, usually polite. If you talk in a rash with Arabic people, they don't like it. They say, oh, you talk polite, why are you angry so much? Means they think we are human being. Okay, you want to instruct me, but in a polite way. Means if something is there, means just like we think, oh, you are educated now, and you think you are big ones. The same thoughts, school of thoughts do exist in Arab world. I have very much contacts. I have very much contacts in Arab world. I know them too closely because I worked with many nationalities. I worked with Gulf nationalities, Lebanon, Palestinian, Libyan, Iraqis, and many more countries, Tunisia, Malta, you can say, and Mauritania, European people. I think there's no end to that if we just list it out. So I'm just giving a reference, means how human thinks. Civil engineering, civil engineers all over the world are same. First of all, they don't like civil engineering because it doesn't give any family value. You can't stay with your wife, can't stay with your family, and even if by chance you get your family status, even then you cannot. It's difficult to leave your children to school every day because you are in desert, or you have to take some other accommodation for them, which is expensive. So what I say, if you want to be civil engineer, quality you should have the sacrifice. Civil engineers' other name is sacrifice. I'm not talking of design engineers. I'm not talking of those who want to stay in office and work on computer. They may think they are civil engineers, but until you expose yourself to sites, harsh working conditions, you cannot name yourself civil engineer. It's not by certification name, by practice you have to name. Those who are in designs, they don't always go to sites and they always take excuses. I'm a design engineer and all structural engineers. They don't understand the structure is real engineers at site has to supervise structure. Only structural engineers supervise RCC and all because they know and how to achieve quality, but they only have a misconception is that structural design engineer is a structural engineer. Though is the design is different part. A person who works on site, civil engineer capacity on the structures is also structural engineer who devotes all time on structural drawings and working out all details, bar bending schedule, or you can say other schedule and quantification, everything. A supervisor site and checks everything. That person is also structural engineer, which our people in our country they do. They know it, but they want to just isolate themselves from that harsh conditions of working environment working. If you don't want to sit in office in design, you can sit in office. Design is very difficult, very important part of engineering, but you should also equal time on implementation aspect, which is missing, and that's the reason that those design engineers who are busy in design, so been designing many years of decades now have been exposed to sites problems. They still repeat same type of mistakes or errors, so you cannot count them. Those drawings are constructability drawings. We have software like BIM somewhere doesn't mean that it solves problem, real problem. You have to solve yourself. If there's a proposal you have to make, you can make proposal only when you are on site, understand problem, study problem, analyze it, and then say, okay, this is my solution. That's what is called proposal. Well, they can't do that. That's different case, but we have to understand this point very, very clearly. What we say is that we can say there's a quality question comes in. I'm talking in very superficial way because I had to explain to you what future holds for civil engineers. If you respect civil engineering, don't think of money first of all. Second is don't think of society mix up. If you want to really help people of world, because only you are person who can help people of world to develop. Yes, world is already developed. You cannot say it is developed. Extent development goes on and on and on. You are in different field. You are in a field where you will find, majority of people along with you who are not school or college qualified, but they know job. They know such jobs which no school or college can teach. There's a difference. Those people who are very well educated, they are from universities, they do not know how to work practically, how to work technically, means they are not technicians, they may be PhDs. Yes, if they are in a specific field, there are cases, but in general, they are not productive people, you can say that way. They are not productive people. Productive means their efforts do not give any direct result, only indirect support they can give. But those people who work in field like construction field, 90% of them, they are from no university, but they know their jobs by whatever methods, by whatever background, family background or site background or learning background. Means learning, they have knowledge of job, though it's not formal education. Some people are from institutions, but very few. I have seen very few civil engineering staff, civil engineering personnel. I call them personnel, I don't call them labor. because I do not want to insult them. If I consider these technicians like carpenter, steel fixer, welder, and all those who contribute to our products, they are very well educated in work. This education may come from family or from side learning or from wherever else. They learn something that helps me and you. If these people do not work, we call them tradesmen, we call them artisans, we call them technicians, we call them by whatever name, but we should not call them labor. If we call them labor, then I am also labor, and you too are labor, and president and prime minister also labor. Everybody is labor because work is work. We have no right to call them labor. Forget what law says or something else says. Means they do something which I cannot do for me, you cannot do for you. So they must have respect like a person who is appointed clerk. What can person do? Only write some papers, issue some diary, dispatch, and we call him educated. But this person, carpenter who does shuttering work, this person mason who does block work, tile work, and so many others, welders, steel fixers like that. They do all technical work. They calculate length of bar, cutting length of bar, how to technically bend it. Similarly, our carpenter knows, some people know how to read drawing, how to cut length of shutters or this. They know practically how to do it. Of course, their calculation speed may not be like computer, but they produce something for you which you cannot do. Means they applied part mind and you can say 70% physical work, and they do for you. And if they don't do for you, means if you call them illiterate, you call them labor. But don't forget, it is only their efforts that push you, that gives you appreciation, give you appreciation. You have done good job. While job they did, you only directed them. That's what I say. You should consider quality at different levels. If a carpenter can understand drawings even though by experience, that person should be respected. But that person can promote to foreman level or to higher level by experience of time. See such people, very old people who used to be carpenters than anything, but he knew how to check. Means that person, Iraqi person, knows that time in 1982 he knew how to check work, and that's more important rather than this. He checked in such a way. Our engineers still today do not know how to check work on site. Checking work on site is an art. It's a capability. How to check work on site? Forget instruments. Concept is very important. So if you cannot check on site, how? Suppose sometimes you go to site and those technicians want to examine new engineer who has come in, whether or not they know something. Means they do something. So okay, sir, come on, check it. It doesn't mean they don't know how, but they say they want to see that this leader has come. How much does he know? It's really great. Means they want to examine person because it's their job. You will check, and if you do not know how to check, what's purpose of your being here? Means you will learn from us and then you will teach us. This is not possible. Some people, I think they are very frank in this regard, and I like that also. Such people, that they have such tendency to examine even highest engineers, managers. So that's great. They don't know how to write, they don't know how to respond, but sir, come on, check it. I've done this shuttering. I want to check it, or this wall is over. Come on and check, my son say, check it's okay or not, or do something. It happens, great. So this is means though the person is not highest in education or higher in education, but he has a mind to understand others. That's what I say. Quality applies according to situation. If I want to raise some question to someone, first I should have clear conception what I am going to raise. If I cannot compose my question correctly, I cannot communicate to someone. First, I don't understand. I just want to raise question to show to others I am raising question, and that question is not speaking in itself. That question is not understood well. How can I expect that other person who has to respond should respond me rightly? So neither I am able to raise question, and nor able to communicate, and also that person gets in or receives this communication incorrectly, of course, then that person would answer irrelevantly. This is where quality stands, means your questions will be quality question, so you can expect quality answer. That's what is important. Quality plays very important role everywhere in our life, in all directions. It's not only simply, you can say, work we consider of higher because it expensive, objectives are expensive, particularly in construction engineering. Yesterday we posted simple post like, if you want to buy vegetable which is only for one day, or you want to buy food only for one day, you are interested in that quality just for one day. When you buy some other equipment or car for a couple of years, or you want to buy something else which is maybe for 4 or 5 years after that to change it, you're very much interested in quality of that, how my car is, what's its performance. As far as your structure is concerned, your building is concerned, which is going to be used by generations to follow you in your succeeding lives, then you can say you are not very much concerned about that quality, where you spend mostly your savings, and you can give that authority to contractor, or to promoter, thinking they will do everything good for you, but you do not understand. For them it is business, not quality, but for you it is not business, it is quality. That's the difference. There you don't raise quality questions, but in other issues you raise quality questions. This is weakness of humanity, because somebody says, oh, I cannot supervise my house, I don't have time to pay, I can't do it, I'll pay to contractor. And this is what contractor wants, this is what promoter wants. You should not have time, you should not think of that. And that person serves you, and that person makes money out of that. And maybe that person cheats you everywhere and charges you more, and that happens. There's no weakness of people. But when you buy vegetable, you don't hire a contractor. You buy food, you don't hire a contractor. Or you do something else, you want to buy a car, you don't hire a contractor. But here in your own project of building, you hire someone, contractor or builder or promoter, to get it delivered to you after this is done. And you do not know what goes on site. You never visit site, you don't see what is quality of work, but you believe in what they say, but you don't believe in for other items. You want to raise questions to a vendor of sabji wala or vegetable shop, or to some other. Why show me means where you are spending whole your livings, you are much worried about the time to watch this, to see this, but where you have to spend nothing but a little every day, you are very much concerned about that. That's what I'm saying. Seriousness, where does it exist? It exists nowhere. This very, very smart quality question, means what is your quality in food, what is your quality everywhere, but what is in quality in building, which is actually very important, and we are talking of that quality. And quality means you are the only quality agent. You do not know anything about that work, but you give to contractor, and contractor knows that you are trapped and he will make money, and certainly makes money. That's the only difference. And you don't trust the engineer. If even engineer says something to you, don't accept that. You don't trust, he's an engineer, he's talking because he's an engineer. But you don't use same sentence to builder or to contractor. Oh, that he's a contractor, he wants to make money. You will not say, okay, fine, I don't have time, take money and do it, and that's it. And you're happy, and that person has taken maybe 20% cheating might have done to you. You are lost on, you got something which is 20% less expensive than you paid for. You see, the gap you paid for, that's point. You then should get returned. You don't get it returned in this case. That's what quality issue concern is. I don't want to explain every day what is quality, because quality is such immense subject. You can say it is of such high magnitude quality issue that we can talk days and days and days. But it's not happening. I am very upset with all institutions who talk of non-essential issues in engineering, but they don't talk of quality. They will try to teach you everything. They will try to teach you management. They will try to teach you everything which they did not do. They are not well expert. But they won't try to teach what they should. You will find management seminars. Oh, we'll teach you management. Okay, I will learn management from you. We will like to give you 4 days session. Give us so many thousands of rupees and we will give you classes and then certificates. Means they are selling certificate, I can say. Because if you cannot include quality issue in management, there is no meaning of organization. Whoever organization you are, whatever organization you are, if your syllabus only tells about management or organization, which indirectly inefficient working, there's no quality, and if you can't understand quality, what shall you teach us? I see these days such webinars, advertisements, means we can teach you. I don't understand what I expect them to teach me. But people are interested, means they want certificates. Okay, you'll get certificate. I did not find so far any webinar in quality system about quality, how we are doing in quality in this country. I did not find any such seminar. And if they conduct, they will call people from overseas. What does it mean? It means nothing. This means you don't have any caliber, you don't have any potential to project to people about quality. Millions of engineers in this country, and I think, I don't know how many civil engineers, how many field engineers, how many design engineers. I have not found, I have not discovered design engineers or field engineers to speak about quality. I don't know. They may say, from codes they may refer anything, from ACI, from British standard, from European standard, from our standard. They may refer anything, but they won't refer anything from practical experience, from what they attained in field. I'm interested in that. I'm not interested what codes speak. That is something else. Codes cannot answer everything. Codes means something else. Quality is not given by codes. We will simply write do quality work and that's it. I had seen some definition of who should supervise concrete, a person experienced in concrete, that's it. Means they just want to refer something for sake of reference, but there is no reality. Quality is a part of life, is very much integrated part of life. Why want to say my children should go to this school, public school or government school or this and that? You see difference in both public school and government school. You want and you can say, oh, my son, my daughter should be very well educated. In government school she won't be educated well, but in private or public school she will get better education. On what basis you say that? No basis is there. It's only that some systems are available in some school because of they have money. Otherwise it is same. It is your misconception of quality we have. Quality is very, very important part in life. Quality means it is everything. System, punctuality, regularity, sincerity, honesty, determination, devotion, donation, dedication. I am saying donation, don't think of money donation. No, it's not money donation. It is knowledge donation. If you disseminate knowledge among people, among public, this is also quality. That you are so good, you want to share your knowledge with people if they are having aspirations to know more. Otherwise, there is no meaning of having experience if you cannot transfer it to others. What shall you do by holding to yourself? Think of that. Whatever experience you have, if you have certain medium available, writing medium, reading medium or computer medium, it is better if you give it to them, because one day it shall be nowhere when you go from here for good. What shall you do with that knowledge? Okay, knowledge shall go with you, that's true, but it shall not be used on earth, most to your demise. We have to understand like this. You cannot measure, oh, I'm not going to get any money, why should I tell him my knowledge? I should give him, just like many people I see, particularly Western people say, I won't give him anything without money. Okay, don't give him anything, don't give this other person something. But what shall you do with that? You have to keep that also in mind. What shall you do with that? So you should have some quality consideration, some quality conscious also. So conscience, you can say, soul should also have quality parameters. It's not physical entity alone that we consider quality issue. It should be, soul consideration. Quality must be in soul. So we have to understand these facts that quality in engineering has wide vistas, wide vista in quality in engineering. Engineering itself is quality. And now you say, now I'm changing to engineering is a quality. Yes, engineering itself is quality because engineering means thinking. Thinking. And if you use this property, thinking, you will find who is yourself. Because what you think now, it doesn't matter next time you think about same topic, you will not think same. No, you will not. You cannot think same. You must have some difference of thinking in same topic in different time. Because all information you might not have received once from your mind, but later on some feedback may come which may inflict part information you received last time. Therefore, if you are thinker, if you are quality acceptor, if you can say, I receive quality and I apply that, receive and apply, you understand quality and apply that. So your product shall be quality product, not quantity product. Means you have applied, you have done work on that in a professional way, and when I say professional way, means advanced thinking way, advanced study way. That's what professional means. You have to go to such depths which are too advanced, and you can think on again and find more information. That is what is engineering. So engineering quality and general quality are different. In engineering, you are bound to do quality work, bound to do. And if you don't do, this is defective work, this is rejectable work, there is no impeccability in that. Your work should be properly done, should be properly designed, should be properly thought. That is what engineering is. Otherwise, there is no meaning to use term engineer. Means a person who has levels of genius, power of mind, that person is called engineer. And if that person doesn't, despite having education, understand this point, that you are born to think, born to analyze, born to understand, born to redefine, born to research. Whatever is feasible, one should have. So quality is that system. It is systems and systems and systems, and quality and quality and quality. No end at all. Because quality is such. Definition can be given, but general definition is that it is level of standard. If I say think, yes, that is my right to think, but everybody doesn't think that way. Somebody doesn't think even 10 minutes out of 24 hours. Some person doesn't think at all. Some person says, why should I think about it? Why should I waste my energy? Your energy is wasted on thinking. This means you are not a thinker. Thinking always gives you energy, remember. This is my experience. Thinking gives you more energy. Yes, it may take some energy of fuel you have taken in or food you have taken in. But energy broadens your small mind. It comes to your mind if you wish. If you don't wish, don't take into the mind, because you feel tired sometimes if you take into your minds. But I think mind never gets tired. So quality never gets tired. This means engineering is thinking, and thinking is very important for life. Engineering is genius, so genius you should be. If you work in engineering field, there may be many instances that you have to do something exponentially which is given nowhere, or you may be originator of something and you feel pleased that moment. I did something and I got it. I got it means I understood this. That is where we have to concern ourselves. So quality is not available everywhere, and it is available also if you want to take it. If you don't want to take it, it's not available. It's up to you whether or not you value quality. For me, quality is very important in life, in all fields, in all applications of engineering. And also, though others are also engineering, nowadays agriculture is also engineering because they deal with technology. There's a process how to grow crop and how to maintain it. That is also part of engineering. It's no different. And those who think it's different, they themselves are different. I can't comment on them. I can't comment on them. It's up to them. When I define engineering, I always say, think it, think it. If you think, it is thinking engineering, and thinking engineering means you have to think for some objective, you have to think for something, and this power of thought shall reach the objective, and the objective will say, I need this service. You have to explain to one such object, what does it mean? What do you want to say? Every engineer, I'm particularly talking of civil engineers, every engineer has ambition, has right, but do not waste your time in asking others all time. Try to get information from your own sources. Nowadays, so many YouTubes and so many, you can say, non-YouTube works like Facebook Live. You can do wonders if you want. We must understand life. We must understand what is this, what's not. Therefore, quality issue must be on top everywhere, which has been missed for centuries, for decades. Maybe it was there in other times. It would have been differently here and there. So my friends, my explanation of quality today is very different. I tried to show you some drawings and some street joinery. Like that we live today. We have to find way how to go further. Quality is your life if you understand. It's not your life if you don't understand. Your thoughts, your actions, your lifestyle, and your, you can say, every activity in life should be quality added. Otherwise, there is no meaning in your being, you can say, separate person. Engineering is very difficult to learn, particularly in university times. You cannot learn that much. When I say quality I should have, means commitment quality I should have, determination quality I should have, and delivery quality I should have. That's one point. When I say about engineering, I say about engineering in quality power. There is no meaning of engineering if you do same way as others do. There is no meaning of engineering because you are doing something else which you got from someone. You are not doing your way, and engineering says you have to think. Think, plan, do, check. This is usual, you can say, usual method. Plan, do, check, improve, like that. And also in our quality structure this comes in various clauses, SL and AnnexSL, starting from scope and ending with improvement. There are terminologies in that, you can say text is there, context you can call it, what is your organization and like what planning you have to do. Every all these 10 clauses is, you can say, quality format where generally all points are covered. And when we go to the FIDIC, we will find also evolving informations that can help you, help everybody. Quality doesn't mean QVALITY, it means real system. Truth. What is truth? We say truth always triumphs. Yes, truth always triumphs. But to whom truth has to triumph? Answer should be to false. It has to defeat. We know there may be 1 billion false statements from some people, but one false statement can take grip of 49% Friday. Then on next day, motor verification, 5%. So I should say, I should not fear quality. As an engineer, as an expert, as an experienced, I should share my knowledge with my colleagues. They may park their car in between. There is no arrangement to halt. Movement is movement. Quality is quality. Yes, theory I am not challenging. I can use only in this. That's all I can do. Nothing else. Quality achievement is a must. If you can achieve quality, means you have achieved quantity itself. If you are born, somebody is born not healthy, oh how badly this is born, no quality in this, no good health. You will say good health. Good health is also a property of body. Yesterday I talked about some methods. We talked about some methods. Same file, the same one. I'm sorry. Same file, I'm talking. You can say I have gone through many methods and setting out excavation, and then it was hand excavation, checklist for formation, and that is then checklist for blinding, then concrete protection waterproof. It was then footings, column stuff, columns, backfill and grid slab. Now RCC column works we talked of. We talked for RCC walls and we talked of RCC lifts. I did not complete this. I you know, I want to repeat this because elevator or lift is little complicated due to its shape, its size, its confinement, its restrictions, and we have to understand those points. Understanding process is very much important for civil engineering because everybody cannot understand methodology or method statements. Only civil engineers can do it smoothly. We say lift or elevator. This is very important part of building, whatever building, high rise or low rise. It is to operate in whole building vertically in different levels. Lift, which is a form of building, is a part of building, but it's not, you can say how to think of lift. We have to understand this point first. Why lift? Because you cannot manually, you can say, create many times fake statements. Our quantities we produce, why are not quality products? Because we don't care for achievement at any stage. That could be a problematic answer. We don't want some problems, but we have to clearly answer what talk of. Clear conception of work and deceptive conception or incomplete conception. Engineering doesn't believe in misconcept. Engineering wants clear concept. Engineering doesn't say you pass in doubt, you don't learn full, but that is different. That is educational system. But something to do while doing, you can say, practice in your clamping of life, you lose life. When you get, yes, I have to learn this by heart and by mind, you can learn it that way. It's very important point. Learning is done by practice. Learning is done by practical application. I know my teachers in English, one was from UK, other was from Bihar. They used to work in Gurgaon NCR. But what if you do not use your knowledge or others' knowledge for construction? There is no meaning of such graduates. There is no meaning of such other people who get no interest in practical aspect. Without examination of materials and system, you can still say, quality can be talked at length, but I don't want to talk at length. I know quality is not being implemented. Everybody knows that it's not implemented, even by safety people or by other people. Yes, they may not demonstrate reality, they will demonstrate, attractions. Even countries like US, they are releasing something for quality. They accept something. Don't reject that. Yeah, they have politics, different politics, but they accept to some extent, and we only speak to accept, but we don't accept something. You can give them sketches, you can give them locations, you can ask some information, but if you don't provide that, what is purpose left? When you say rainwater, what happens? You see rainwater flowing in your street or in your train. Does it bring something else also with this? Did you ever see? Yes, it brings with it invisible dissolved soil particle, minerals, and how many days does it take to leave solution? If we are people of 1 billion in this country and we don't speak, what's purpose? If we don't speak about those advice about how to achieve quality, what's fun of having so much population? Well, my concentration should be on quality. That always any identification about identity and identification. I will talk of this lift in a couple of minutes because it's complicated one and I can't share any sketch with you because that's not share that book, then I have to close this program and show you that one. But I'll try if I get it back sometimes, not today. Well, have you experienced any link in your lifestyle? That's my question mark. Elevator. Elevator which lifts you to various heights. It grants you concession. It grants you concession to hard application. You are not tired. Means these are basic points that is giving planning and consumption and then elevator something extraordinary if it is structural elevator, not as is done here in this country. It is, it is it is walls which are not placed properly. Excuse me for 2 minutes. I will go to terrace. So I have to walk to stretch my leg, which is very important. So don't mind if I take some time because of my leg problem. Mm. Still can't walk. lift, elevator, which elevates you, which takes you. Why to? Why not to worry about that? And that lifting is very, very important. You can say it's well. General term which we use with is lift well. Has certain constitution. It has certain construction. This lift, it has lift pit, it has lift walls, it has machine room. Ordinarily, it has. We must say that it has. Maybe you did not analyze, probably just thinking is lift bottom, there's a pit. Pit below floor level, floor of lift car, we call it lift car, means this machine, this is lift car we call it, and this call we call it lift, we call it lift. Yes, it has, you can see, machine room at top and it has lift pit at bottom. It has vertical walls, so this is, you can say, like a square tall body. If it is one lift car, if it has two lift car, it has three lift cars, it depends. Four lifts. You may call it lift bank, elevator bank. This means if you have one lift or you have two lift or three lift, all designs are different. And then it's not only lift structure, we have to, connect lift car to lift car supports to this structure. So it's a different kind of system in a building that lift works. In some cases, people, generally professional people, use in buildings RCC walls for lift, and which can also be used for purpose of resisting horizontal forces. Also, you can say in our country people generally use brickwork in walls, but to be clear, RCC element is a must in lift for various reasons, for lift movement and for integrity of structure, and for, you can say, so many other reasons: thermal, acoustic, heat, structural integrity, or you can say horizontal resistance, or also you can say making building better in rigidity. Rigidity means better redistribution of moments, you can say, because these walls, if you make in RCC, would act like a core sometimes. It would help a shear wall as well. We have to understand this fact, which is nothing to do with quality but design, yet it helps. It helps. So we can say when we start lift, along with foundations, we have to take foundation of that lift in form of lift pit. That is stage 1 of lift. After excavations is done, so lift pit is done, which is lower than ground level, or if it has basement, then lower than level of basement. That pit, then it is lift room. Car is one in every lift, but there control lift. This is what a tall box, you may say tall slender box, even if it is, there are, you can say there are, we plus of this structure. We cannot leave floor separate to walls. Just if you have to brickwork, brickwork has nothing to do with stresses. Only slab is left with the diaphragm, and you are leaving integrity of motion of car to block or to brick or block work. This means this is not a good design. When you use RCC walls in lift valve, which you call lift valve, because lift is continuous, it doesn't have to relate to floor slab, except door which opens. Otherwise, this is a continuous cylinder vertically, continuous box, you can say, box tunnel, you may say. It's a vertical tunnel rather than real tunnel. This well we call it, and this pit plus well plus machine room equal to structure of lift. So if you provide RCC walls in lift, it shall provide enough integrity, stability to building. And if it is centralized, I mean to say somewhere in central portion, in a symmetrical way, if you design, it will add to resistance, add to integrity, add to stability of that building's structure. We have to consider this point. So it has got relation to design. So quality design demands that. You cannot be at randomly taken location of this everywhere. Better if you core it or centralize it. Well, so we can say that we have to construct lift pit lift well and lift room. Now I have given you idea for checklist only. It's not thorough construction I'm giving you, it's only checklist, and which says that we have to start with lift pit, a kind of foundation. It is lift pit, a sort of foundation. That's you have to excavate as you excavate whole building. You have to excavate that one, and you have to provide what is required. You have to provide that one. That's it. It can be, you can say, ordinary footing below whole pit, means a kind of small raft, or you can say below lift well. Then you start from there, lift wall between base of pit to ground floor level. That portion of, you may say, stub walls, like stub columns we say. And then from there we can say lift wall goes from floor level to floor level. There may be any number of floors, whatever number of floors, as number of floors means number of part lift walls, and then on top of that, when lift stops, it covers whole story, and on top of that there's control room or mechanical room, you can say, lift mechanical room on top of that, which is also covered structure. So our issue here is lift well walls. It's not lift pit walls. Pit wall is very small, maybe hardly 1 meter, maybe 1.5 meter, where you have to just take care of discharges or drainage or electrical conduits within there or services there. Means construction wise it is only wall. What we are interested in about lift well, single story wall, means every floor is same, height may be different. So if you do this wall at ground or first or second, it doesn't make much difference, because you have to provide same supporting system, temporary one as well as proprietary. And you have to take up to floor level of you can say next one. This means you have to provide first temporary system of scaffolding internally as well as externally of wall, internally in well and externally whatever it is. You have to provide that system, and already, because you have fixed whatever it is, that has to be fixed one. Internal box shutters we do. Four sides internal in one story. Four sides internally along with complete arrangement, usual arrangement of shutters or panels of shutters, you may say, boarding, you may say. Internal sides are done. As well as we do internal sides, we have to make box. That box means it's wide box, because in this part of formwork there shall be no concrete, where door portion comes in. So that portion should be boxed in, and all reinforcement is placed And internal forms we have erected. The erected only means not connected, not bolted. The internal form is done with all efforts and all methods we devise for walls. Uh, Steel is completed after internet, after sorry, not internet. This is internal form is either moving or is done. And when you are doing internal work, means there is a platform, of course, to stand and to erect scaffolding on that. And of course, you must have working boards and platforms within box. And this should be completely safety cleared, and you work on that, keeping your system of reinforcement, and then all reinforcement is done, electrical conduits are done, and whatever else is required is done. Then we have to inspect this reinforcement, whoever is responsible, that can be done. And once it is cleared, then we have to start external forms. External forms, if there is one lift and is a lift box or lift bank, so we have to do all this for internal as well as external, but in continuity. We cannot take separately everything. If suppose there are two lifts, well, then we have to do internally two boxes, two doors, and then external sides after reinforcement is done. And if there are three lifts, three cars in that, we have to do three boxes, and we have to do internal work of three boxes, reinforcement, doors, inserts, and external, that means steel and external upper floor. These are sequences. See, you have to understand this sequence, and this sequence shall give various problems, but first we have to do preparatory works and temporary works. Steel is complicated one, congested one, but we have to do it. Then after inspection is clear, we have to go for what? We have to go for, you can say, external shutters. And external shutter means external scaffolding and external shutters. Now question arises about these shutters which you form work, which you are doing. We have to go this question, is it adequate or is having enough resistance to forces imposed on this during casting, during pouring. That's major point. Forces may be much more than expected. We have to calculate that. I devised some formula long back about that. I don't know, I have that one now or no, but no problem. That means it should be in some Excel file. I'll dig out later on now. I don't even remember now where, in which folder it is, but there is somewhere. But I'll explain to you without that. Means what pressure you expect on walls. Let us say it is 4-meter wall or story height. This means at one time when we complete this pour, there will be full height of 4 meters, right? Full height of 4 meters. That is correct. Thickness of it may be 30 centimeter, it may be 40 centimeter, depending on, let us say, whatever thickness. We are not bothered about thickness, we are bothered about pressure per square meter. And pressure, if you know pressure per square meter, we can say horizontal pressure is how much. And what is horizontal movement? Movement due to horizontal pressure. 4 meter or whatever meter, we are going to pour concrete, which is 2.4 tons per cubic meter. 2.4 tons per cubic meter means WH, W is 2.4 tons and H is 4 meters. This is vertical intensity of pressure at bottom. WH, that is 2.4 tons into height 4. 9.6 ton. This is the intensity of pressure per square meter. 9.24 into 4, 9.6 tons per square meter. This means vertical force on this section per square meter is this much. Means say 9.6 per square meter means, let us say it is 30 centimeter or 40 centimeter, let us say 40 centimeter, let us say better. So 9.6 into 0.4, it is something like that. 9.6 into 0.4, it's 3.8 for something. So it's 3.8 for something tons per pressure on bottom of concrete. Here is weight, you can say it's kind of weight. And this is wet concrete. Now this is pressure vertically, but pressure that applies on form at bottom. So WH, that is 2.6. This is 9.6 tons per square meter, which acts, this WH over 2, we can say this is WH over 2 into H. This is WH is at bottom and height is H. WH is at bottom, height is H. So you have to find triangular area. This is WH, height is H. So half into WH into H. So WH square over 2, this is horizontal pressure, which acts at distance 1 over 3 of height from bottom or 2 or 3 of height from top. So WH square over 2 is your horizontal pressure acting at 1/3 from height, 1/3 height from base. It is 4 meters, so 4 over 3. So it is WH square over 2 is pressure. Let us say whatever pressure is this, WH square 2, and WH is, whatever calculation we got in 9.6, and WH is 9.6, and H over 2, which is again 2, so it's 4.8. That's pressure. Acting at what? Acting at H over 3. This means 4 over 3. So multiply by 4 over 3, 1.6 into 4, 6.4. 6.4 ton is pressure there. Got it? If I make wrongly calculate, you correct yourself. This is horizontal pressure acting here. We can find moment from that. Moment is direct formula, WH cube over 6, which is nothing secret. WH cube over 6. So you can find out this. 4 into 4 into 4, 64, and 6, divide and find this. Now you have to design your shutter for this force at that height. And you have to make sure that your shutters, your supports of shutters, your tie rods, or your whatever else you use, your supporting system at bottom of your shutters, both ends, and at 1/3 height, also at top. But top is only for holding position, and bottom is also just to hold this, while middle one at H over 3 is main resisting force to your concrete pressure, both sides. So you can find at that point how much pressure comes, and when you cast full, that pressure would be there, but in some reduced capacity, because casting will take many hours. It's not in one go immediately you pour it and do it. If you do that, then maybe your shutter opens and concrete is out. We have to take that point into our contemplation. It's very important. And we have to show the for example, I said 4 meter over 3, just say 1.33 something, and 1.33 something means third layer, maybe fourth layer. In fourth layer of pouring or in first course 40, then 40, then some you can say plastic stays, not liquid stays, not fluid state. So weight would be little reduced, but you do not consider that you factor, or you can say okay fine, it's very important, you have to time it. Your timing very important. And you can say okay fine, I accept this. So you can find what is pressure, total pressure on wall as well as on bottom and top. Most important figure you have is in 2000. This is 2011 I did. Before that I did such calculations I gave. We have to do it. If even if it's not demanded by someone, if it's not demanded by engineer or its staff or supervisor, but we have to understand what we are doing is right. That's important point. So we can say we have now to move on to discuss about how to do it. You have forces now. You decide it. You have ply. If you know strength of that, you have. It's not simply strength you have to take into consideration meter wise, means size of that, because you are taking per meter wall, so you have to take per meter wall resistance. There will be ply in that portion on both ends, so half pressure will go this side, half would go that end. Then you have scantling on ply at various spacings, and those would count, all would count separately to resist. And then there are vertical members. Even if you forget vertical members, you can continue and you will say apply 16. I don't know what's there, so the cards they are written here. Okay. So your wall and external. So what are components that you are accuracy. They are only consuming that. That, or you can say, supports on both sides. Say steel jacks, which are stronger. Jack can take is about 3 tons probably. So you are putting it in inclined position. So inclined position can be taken of that 3 tons, applying cos 45 whatever. You can see how much resistance, or if you have some losing factor, you can apply that to bottom as well as a mid position or supporting position. You know this how many, if you provide 2 in 1 meter or 3 in 1 meter, you can calculate that as well on both ends, both sides. And battens you can take very normally 5 kilogram per square centimeter. So you can, by summing up, you will find that this Now that point which you got now, you have registering members in this form are many buttons. If you take, let us say, 40 centimeters center, maybe 10 from top to bottom, vertically as well as horizontally. If 1 meter, if you say 2 or 3 maybe there, you have to consider that strength also. When you consider these resistances together, then it's little time consuming, but it's possible. It's not the thing. We have to involve all these members on both sides. Bolt also is very important, which I missed. This is about 16 mm bolt, and full force of this bolt. Even if you take mild steel, forget others, it is 1.4 tons per centimeter square, and I think 1.1 16 mm. This is I think 2.01. So if you take it that way, 1.4 tons per centimeter square and 2. This is about 3 tons or 2 tons. So you can sum up all these forces, resistance members to find total resistance. It should be much more than what is applied by concrete, what is imposed by concrete. Because you can say it may take 4 hours to cross this slab, so 2 hours you reach this point, maybe this may be 2.2 hours, and once from 2 hours onwards to 4 hours, you will have some reduced pressure because of setting of concrete and having some state of solid conduct, solid behavior, and you can reduce pressure if you wish. It's your own method how to calculate it. Don't go to start free or this or that. It's where we can count on this. This is a design part of temporary works or preparatory works, you can say. So you can say that your system of concrete is designed by, okay. So once you know this, your system shall be safe. And you can come out of that and do your preparatory works intensively and complete everything, all services, inserts. And then you have to pour. Pouring is another art activity on lift. Single floor, not all floors. So if you see in this statement itself, so many points are there. Come on, now we start. You have done all check, must be, and you have thought of what to do. Where there is more pressure, you can reduce bolt spacing, and you can even reduce your, you can say, fixing arrangements if you wish, and you can increase supports if you wish. This will give you events. Yes, you're right. If take into our consideration all activities of left, all these eight sides can say for internal and for external. Eight sides would resist total force of concrete, and we have to make sure that this is rightly covered and professional maximum at lower than the at top. Now we have to understand procedure this way that completely clamped it is, but we must make sure about pouring, how to pour it. Can we pour blindly, or we have to understand system, because at location of door you have to be very careful, because one end of door is concrete of the wall, other end is anything. So, well, can be said, yes, it is. So you are not sure you are not sure about pressure of or forces from concrete at various stages. Forces at various stages you can calculate. When you start, you can take full load up to 1 meter. From bottom, you can take full load. Then you can say another meter, you can reduce by 15 to 20%. You can say next meter height, and then above third height, you can say a little more, maybe 20% to 25% to 30%, and in the top layer, you can say 40% reduction based on experience, and you can say that overall pressure that you take average. You can find out, or you can calculate different pressures separately. Or you may say, let us say 75% of total pressure applied on system of formwork. That is an interesting one, that this 55% or 75% to take into considerations. Or you say whatever forces are there, you can reduce factor by 25%, and then you can scan, okay, fine, it's fine. And what forces you have on formwork? What is difference? If forces on formwork, to say strength of formwork members, formwork system, let's say twice then formwork forces. Means it's 100 times safe, 100% safe, or 200% safe. So you have to say, I think there should be no problem except that standard we have. But just to justification is required, particularly in this type of system, formwork system. Justification is very, very important. And I was asked to prove that whatever system I had, it works. Only problem comes in scandlings, means how much strength one has. In bolts we know, tie rods, in props we know, and also ply and scandlings require some adjustment. So you have sure that your system is safe, then you can do work. So you start now, say you are starting pouring. You start number one layer up to 1 meter, that is 40 centimeter you are going to cast. Now from where you have to start and where you have to end, that is your point of view. We have to see that there is one stop end for this pour, and that end goes to box door, because at door this won't move further. There are two ends, one left and one right of door. So there are 2 points where flow of concrete would not move. These are, you can say, stop ends of the system. So if you start from these two, or you start only from one end, then you have to move whole in between. Do one layer well, double layer or three, whatever it is. Do not leave stop ends. One layer vibrate, then second layer vibrate, then third layer, and leave it 1 minute. It shall be maybe 20, 25, 30 minutes by this time. Moving activity of concrete and delivery. Then you have to do second layer as well. Do not leave pour in between. Be strict in supervision. Calculate quantities accordingly. Quantity of concrete. It's not difficult. You know approximately center lines multiplied by height. Center line to square meter is plan height, and take out quantity of, or even if you don't take out quantity of door portion, no problem. So up to door portion there will be 2 meters. Standard height of door is easy because problem is reduced because all four sides. You need not worry about that. Up to half bore, you can say your door problem is gone. Then you can say that top further, third and fourth walling area, you have to pour 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. And maybe by that time it's 4 hours, nobody knows. And then you concrete, you vibrate, and then it's complete. You have to keep watching on your plumb bobs. Somebody has to check that there is no change in verticality, and also there is no change in some props loosen or some grip is lost somewhere. You must keep a watch, particularly when concrete is in bottom portion, because once concrete gets little dry and you are at upper level, you reduce your risk of opening. It happens because when you drop from 2 meters or concrete at bottom and this very fast supply of concrete, problem is not actually force of concrete but impact of concrete. Sometimes by error your shoot of pump boom is not, it impacts the wall by chance. It should not be, but you cannot control second by second, and by error it strikes with force on either internal or external side, and which maybe there can be opening of form. That should not happen. There are equilibrium in forces and resistances, and you have calculations justifying you. You can say concrete pour is over procedure. That is very important point we have to understand here, that what I say, that you successfully completed that pour. It's technical work exactly. You cannot simply say it's ordinary column or it's ordinary wall or footing. No, it's a big job. Pouring or lift bank, you can say, we have various wells. There's no slab, height only. If it is cored one, or maybe only on some other areas, and you still keep on projecting up as towels, because you have to add more steel for next floor, so there is no termination. In this is actually same thing. what you can say we took and wrote about in this. Yeah, I wrote ensure scaffolding with working platform. Lift well. Ensure tags are installed. Ensure links should start at half of spacing. Location from structural level. Ensure rebars. Ensure that all U-shaped bars are even if so required. Rings are rightly fixed in position and well secured or anchored. Ensure in particular corner U-bars in both directions, making a perpendicular. Ensure rebars are clean and free from rust. Ensures sacrificial anode is fixed if so required. Ensure touch-up paint is applied in case of ensure all inspection be in case proprietary system is